Most men believe attraction begins with touch, physical presence, escalation, chemistry created through proximity. Stoicism teaches a far more unsettling truth. Attraction is decided before touch ever happens, long before closeness, long before intimacy. And the men who understand this never rush to prove desire physically. They don't need to. A woman does not turn on because a man touches her. She responds because something inside her has already shifted. Her nervous system relaxes. Her curiosity sharpens. Her awareness locks onto his presence. And all of that happens without a single physical move. Most men get this wrong because they confuse stimulation with attraction. They think touching creates desire. In reality, desire is created when a woman feels emotionally led, mentally challenged, and energetically grounded around a man. Touch only amplifies what already exists. It never creates it. Stoicism teaches that the strongest form of influence is not force, but containment. The man who can remain composed, calm, and centered while desire builds naturally is the man who creates the deepest pull. Not because he withholds affection, but because he does not leak need. Most men leak need through their eyes, their words, their urgency. They rush connection. They seek validation. They try to move things forward before attraction has rooted itself emotionally. And when they do, interest collapses quietly. A Stoic man does the opposite. He slows everything down. His presence is steady. His attention is selective. His body language is relaxed. He does not chase reaction. He allows tension to exist without resolving it. That tension becomes anticipation, and anticipation is what turns attraction on. The female mind is exceptionally sensitive to emotional safety paired with mystery. When a man feels grounded but unpredictable, calm but not passive, attentive but not attached, her attention deepens automatically. This is not manipulation. It is emotional alignment. This is why some men can walk into a room and shift energy without saying much. It is not confidence in the loud sense. It is self-command. Stoicism teaches that self-command is felt immediately. You cannot fake it, and you cannot force it. This video is not about seduction techniques. It is not about flirting lines. And it is not about physical escalation. It is about understanding why the absence of urgency creates more desire than effort ever could. Why emotional restraint amplifies attraction, and why the man who can control himself never needs to control the interaction. By the end of this video, you will understand why touch is never the starting point, how calm presence activates desire, and why Stoic restraint creates attraction that feels natural and inevitable. If you've ever wondered why some men ignite interest without trying, while others try everything and still feel ignored, stay with me. Because once you understand this principle, you stop chasing chemistry and start becoming the environment where desire grows on its own. Before we start, a quick reminder. The real transformation doesn't happen on YouTube. It happens inside the community. If these videos have opened your eyes, what's inside will rebuild your mindset completely. It's not just a course, it's a brotherhood. A private space where men master attraction, emotional control, and the psychology of power. You don't join for a month, you join for life. Every future course, book, and lesson is yours forever. No subscriptions, no limits. Just one decision that changes your direction. If you're serious about growth, discipline, and purpose, click the link below. Join the community. Enroll once. Grow forever. Let's dive in. Section number 1. Presence is felt before attraction is understood. The first Stoic principle that turns attraction on without touch is presence. Not attention, not effort. Presence. Stoicism teaches that a man's internal state is always communicated outward, whether he speaks or not. Before words land, before gestures register, a woman feels the emotional atmosphere a man carries. Most men misunderstand presence because they confuse it with intensity. They try to be engaging, expressive, entertaining. In doing so, they become externally focused and internally unstable. Presence disappears the moment a man starts performing. A Stoic man does not perform. He arrives. Presence is created when a man is fully grounded in his body, his pace, and his emotions. He is not scanning for approval. He is not adjusting himself based on reaction. His attention is steady, not scattered. That steadiness creates safety, and safety is the foundation upon which desire can activate. The female nervous system is constantly assessing whether a man feels centered or reactive. When a man is reactive, attraction stalls. When he is centered, attraction opens. This is why some men say very little and still command attention. Their internal state does the work. Stoicism teaches mastery of impulse. When a man controls his need to impress, to escalate, to fill silence, he projects emotional strength. That strength is felt immediately. It relaxes tension rather than creating it. Relaxed tension becomes curiosity. Curiosity becomes attraction. Most men sabotage presence by leaning forward emotionally. They lean into conversation. They lean into validation. They lean into outcome. That lean communicates need. Presence, on the other hand, is neutral. It does not chase. It does not retreat. It simply exists fully. Another critical element of presence is stillness. Stillness is not inactivity. It is internal quiet. A man who can be still without disengaging signals control. Stoicism teaches that stillness is power because it resists compulsion. When a man is not compelled to act, speak, or prove, he becomes unpredictable in a grounded way. This unpredictability is what sharpens attention. The female mind cannot categorize him easily. She senses depth without explanation. That sensation turns attraction on without a single physical move. Presence also affects time perception. When a man is present, interactions feel slower, fuller, more grounded. Slowness creates intensity. Rushing kills it. Stoicism teaches that slowing down is not hesitation, it is command. The man who can hold presence does not rush touch because he does not need it to validate interest. He allows attraction to build internally first. Touch, when it happens, simply confirms what is already alive. This is why presence is the first key. Without it, every other action feels forced. With it, even silence becomes engaging. The brutal truth is this: if your presence is weak, touch feels desperate. If your presence is strong, touch becomes inevitable. This is the foundation of Stoic attraction, and everything else builds on it. Section number 2. Emotional restraint creates anticipation. The second Stoic principle that turns attraction on without touch is emotional restraint. Most men believe desire grows when emotion is expressed freely and immediately. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Desire grows when emotion is contained, not suppressed, but held with discipline. Emotional restraint does not mean being cold or distant. It means not leaking your interest before attraction has space to breathe. When a man reveals too much too fast, excitement collapses into familiarity. Familiarity without depth kills anticipation. Anticipation is what keeps desire alive. A Stoic man feels emotion, but he does not rush to express it. He allows it to exist internally first. This creates tension, and tension, when paired with calm presence, becomes magnetic. The female mind responds strongly to this because it senses emotional strength rather than emotional hunger. Most men mistake emotional restraint for indifference. In reality, indifference feels flat. Restraint feels controlled intensity. There is warmth without urgency, interest without pressure, attention without attachment. This balance signals maturity and self-command. Stoicism teaches that impulses are not commands. Just because you feel something does not mean you must act on it immediately. When a man can pause before responding emotionally, he demonstrates mastery over himself. That mastery is deeply attractive because it signals reliability and depth. Another critical effect of emotional restraint is that it shifts focus inward for her. When you do not constantly express interest, reassurance, or excitement, her mind begins filling the gap. She wonders where she stands. She pays closer attention. Her emotional investment increases naturally. This is not manipulation. It is the mind responding to space. Men often fear that if they do not express desire clearly, they will be forgotten. Stoicism teaches that attraction is not sustained by reminders. It is sustained by impact. When your presence and restraint create impact, you do not need to repeat yourself emotionally. Emotional restraint also protects dignity. When a man overexpresses, he risks emotional imbalance. He becomes more invested than the moment requires. Stoicism warns against imbalance because it leads to attachment without alignment. Alignment must precede expression. A Stoic man allows attraction to reveal itself before he deepens emotional investment. He observes behavior rather than chasing reassurance. This calm observation signals strength and patience, qualities that trigger trust and desire simultaneously. This restraint also slows time emotionally. When interactions are not rushed toward expression or escalation, each moment feels fuller. Full moments create memory. Memory creates longing. Longing fuels desire. The most important truth is this: emotional restraint does not turn attraction off. It turns it on gradually and deeply. It allows desire to form internally rather than being pushed externally. This is why touch is unnecessary at this stage. When emotional anticipation is alive, physical closeness becomes a natural extension rather than a forced step. Stoicism teaches that the man who can wait without anxiety controls the emotional pace, and the man who controls pace controls attraction. Section number 3. Selective attention makes her feel seen without being chased. The third Stoic principle that turns attraction on without touch is selective attention. Most men believe attraction grows when attention is constant, immediate, and unlimited. Stoicism teaches a more precise truth. Attention only creates value when it is intentional. When attention is given freely to everyone, it loses weight. When it is selective, it becomes powerful. A Stoic man does not withdraw attention to provoke reaction. He also does not flood attention to secure approval. He places attention where alignment exists and removes it where it does not. This calm selectivity signals self-respect, and self-respect is one of the strongest attractors in human psychology. Selective attention makes a woman feel seen without being pursued. When a man listens deeply, responds thoughtfully, and engages fully in moments that matter, but does not hover or overinvest, his attention feels earned rather than expected. That feeling creates emotional significance. Most men overattend. They respond instantly. They check constantly. They adjust their schedules to remain available. This behavior communicates that their attention has no cost. Stoicism teaches that what has no cost has no value. When attention is costly, meaning it is limited and intentional, it carries emotional weight. Another key element of selective attention is presence during interaction and absence afterward. A Stoic man is fully engaged when he is with her. He listens without distraction. He reacts without exaggeration. He maintains eye contact without intensity. Then he returns to his life without lingering emotionally. This contrast is powerful. Presence creates connection. Absence creates reflection. The female mind responds strongly to this pattern. When attention is not continuous, it becomes memorable. When it is not guaranteed, it becomes appreciated. This does not create anxiety. It creates awareness. Awareness deepens attraction. Selective attention also prevents emotional chasing. When a man does not constantly check for validation or reaction, he remains internally centered. That centering communicates confidence without arrogance. Stoicism teaches that confidence is not loud, it is consistent. Most men fear that selective attention will make them seem uninterested. In reality, it makes them seem grounded. Interest is felt through quality, not quantity. A single focused interaction outweighs dozens of shallow exchanges. This principle also protects boundaries. When attention is selective, standards remain visible without being stated. You are not telling her how to behave. You are responding to behavior naturally. This teaches through action, not words. Selective attention turns attraction on because it mirrors how value works everywhere else. Scarcity increases focus. Abundance reduces it. Stoicism teaches that discipline is the ability to withhold even what feels good when it no longer serves alignment. When a man masters selective attention, touch becomes secondary. Desire has already formed internally. Physical closeness, when it happens, simply confirms what her mind and emotions have already accepted. This is why selective attention is not a tactic. It is a lifestyle rooted in self-direction, and self-direction is felt immediately. Section number 4, calm leadership shapes desire without pressure. The fourth Stoic principle that turns attraction on without touch is calm leadership. Not dominance, not control, leadership of emotional direction. Stoicism teaches that the man who remains steady while others fluctuate becomes the reference point in any interaction. Desire responds to reference points, not persuasion. Most men try to lead by pushing things forward. They escalate conversation. They suggest closeness. They chase momentum. In doing so, they reveal urgency. Urgency collapses attraction because it signals dependence on outcome. Calm leadership does the opposite. It removes urgency and replaces it with direction. A Stoic man leads through pace. He sets rhythm without announcing it. He does not rush intimacy. He does not stall progress either. He moves naturally, guided by alignment rather than fear. This balanced pace creates trust because it feels intentional rather than reactive. Calm leadership shows up in small ways. He chooses when to speak and when to pause. He suggests rather than asks. He decides without over-explaining. He allows silence without discomfort. Each of these behaviors signals inner order, and inner order is felt as safety. The female mind responds deeply to safety paired with confidence. When a man feels emotionally predictable but mentally grounded, desire activates naturally. Stoicism teaches that predictability in values combined with mystery and expression creates the strongest pull. Another aspect of calm leadership is emotional containment during uncertainty. When situations are unclear, a Stoic man does not seek reassurance. He observes. He remains relaxed. He allows time to reveal truth. This patience communicates that he trusts himself more than outcomes. Most men panic during uncertainty. They try to lock things down. They ask questions that seek clarity prematurely. Calm leadership resists this impulse. It allows space without detachment. Space is not absence. It is breathing room for desire. Calm leadership also means not reacting to tests emotionally. Tests are not challenges. They are evaluations. When a man responds calmly, without defensiveness or appeasement, attraction deepens. Stoicism teaches that emotional control is the highest form of strength. Importantly, calm leadership never feels forceful. It feels natural. It does not demand compliance. It invites participation. This invitation is powerful because it preserves freedom. And desire only grows where freedom exists. When a man leads calmly, touch becomes unnecessary to create chemistry. Chemistry is already present in the dynamic. Touch, when it happens, simply reflects alignment rather than initiating it. The man who leads calmly does not chase desire. He hosts it. His presence becomes the container where attraction feels safe to unfold. This is why calm leadership is one of the most overlooked elements of Stoic attraction. It does not announce itself. It does not impress. It simply holds the interaction in a steady frame. And when a woman feels that steadiness, desire turns on quietly and deeply. Section number 5, non-reactivity creates magnetic tension. The fifth Stoic principle that turns attraction on without touch is non-reactivity. Stoicism teaches that the man who is least controlled by external stimuli holds the most internal power. Attraction responds to that power instinctively, not because it is dramatic, but because it is rare. Most men react emotionally without realizing it. They react to tone shifts. They react to delayed replies. They react to uncertainty. Each reaction may seem small, but together they reveal emotional dependence. Dependence weakens attraction because it shifts the man from leader to follower in the emotional exchange. A Stoic man feels emotion, but he does not broadcast it automatically. He does not mirror every fluctuation. He does not chase balance by explaining himself. He allows moments to exist without correction. This restraint creates tension, and tension, when held calmly, becomes magnetism. Non-reactivity does not mean indifference. Indifference feels flat and disconnected. Non-reactivity feels grounded. There is presence without volatility, interest without anxiety, warmth without need. This emotional steadiness allows attraction to grow safely instead of collapsing under pressure. The female mind is constantly evaluating emotional stability. When a man reacts strongly to small changes, it signals insecurity. When he remains composed, it signals confidence and emotional maturity. Stoicism teaches that emotional maturity is the ability to choose response rather than surrender it. Another reason non-reactivity is powerful is because it removes emotional predictability. When a man reacts instantly, his emotional pattern becomes easy to read. Predictability kills intrigue. Non-reactivity introduces pause. Pause introduces curiosity. Curiosity fuels desire. Most men fear that if they do not react, they will lose connection. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Overreaction is what collapses connection. When you allow silence, ambiguity, or minor tension to exist without rushing to resolve it, the dynamic deepens rather than breaks. Non-reactivity also preserves self-respect. When you do not jump emotionally, you remain centered. Centered men feel safe. Safety allows desire to turn on internally without fear of pressure. A Stoic man understands that not every moment requires a response. Not every feeling needs expression. Not every shift needs explanation. This discipline keeps attraction alive because it prevents emotional flooding. This principle is especially powerful during uncertainty. When clarity is absent, most men panic. They ask questions. They seek reassurance. Non-reactivity resists this urge. It allows reality to reveal itself naturally. When interest exists, it rises. When it does not, it fades cleanly. The most important truth is this: attraction does not grow in reaction. It grows in containment. When a man can contain emotion without suppressing it, he creates an atmosphere where desire feels safe, exciting, and grounded at the same time. Touch becomes unnecessary because attraction has already been activated internally. This is why non-reactivity is not passivity. It is mastery. And mastery is felt long before it is understood. Section number 6. Self-direction makes desire inevitable. The final Stoic principle that turns attraction on without touch is self-direction. Stoicism teaches that a man who knows where he is going does not need to pull anyone toward him. Direction creates gravity, and gravity creates attraction without effort. Most men orient their lives around response. They adjust schedules. They change plans. They wait for messages. They let attention dictate direction. This reactive orientation weakens attraction because it reveals dependence. When a man's direction is flexible around another person's availability, his value feels negotiable. A Stoic man moves forward regardless of response. His routines, priorities, and goals remain intact whether attention is given or withheld. This does not make him distant. It makes him anchored. Anchored men feel stable. Stability allows desire to form safely. Self-direction communicates abundance without arrogance. You are not saying you have options. You are showing that your life is already full. Stoicism teaches that fullness is attractive because it removes pressure from interaction. When nothing is missing, nothing needs to be taken. Another powerful effect of self-direction is that it removes emotional bargaining. When a man has direction, he does not negotiate his standards for connection. He evaluates alignment calmly. That calm evaluation signals confidence and maturity. The female mind responds deeply to direction because it suggests future safety. A man who is guided by purpose is predictable in values, not behavior. This combination creates trust and intrigue simultaneously. Trust invites closeness. Intrigue sustains desire. Self-direction also sharpens boundaries naturally. When your life is moving forward, distractions are filtered automatically. You do not need to say no aggressively. Your pace says it for you. Stoicism teaches that boundaries are strongest when they are lived, not declared. Most men attempt to create attraction by focusing on the woman. Stoicism teaches that attraction is a byproduct of focus elsewhere. When a man focuses on growth, discipline, and purpose, his presence changes. That change is felt immediately. This is why touch becomes unnecessary. Desire has already been activated through emotional leadership and inner order. Touch, when it happens, simply follows alignment rather than initiating it. The Stoic man understands that attraction cannot be chased. It must be allowed. Self-direction allows it by removing need, urgency, and dependence from the dynamic. The ultimate truth is simple. A man with direction does not chase desire. Desire follows him. This is the foundation upon which all Stoic attraction is built. In short, everything you've learned comes down to one Stoic truth. Attraction is not something you do to someone. It is something that happens around you when your inner state is ordered. Most men believe desire must be initiated externally, through touch, through escalation, through constant effort. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Desire awakens internally when a woman feels safe, curious, and emotionally guided in a man's presence. Presence, emotional restraint, selective attention, calm leadership, non-reactivity, self-direction. None of these require physical contact. They require self-command. When a man is centered, he does not rush closeness to validate interest. He allows attraction to form naturally. That patience communicates confidence. Confidence creates safety. Safety allows desire to turn on without pressure. This is why some men ignite chemistry without trying, while others try everything and feel ignored. One man leaks need. The other contains energy. Containment creates tension. Tension creates anticipation. Anticipation becomes desire. Stoicism teaches that the strongest influence is not force, but restraint. The man who can wait without anxiety controls the pace. The man who controls the pace controls the dynamic. And the man who controls the dynamic never needs to push it forward. Touch, when it happens, is no longer a test. It is a confirmation. Most men touch to see if attraction exists. Stoic men touch because attraction is already alive. The moment you stop chasing chemistry, chemistry begins to chase you. The moment you stop reacting emotionally, emotional pull deepens. And the moment you stop orienting your life around response, your presence becomes grounded and rare. This is not about manipulation. It is about alignment. A woman does not feel turned on by effort. She feels turned on by emotional stability paired with mystery, by a man who is present without attachment, interested without dependence, calm without distance. Stoicism does not teach you how to win someone. It teaches you how to stand in yourself so the right people lean in naturally. Remember this clearly. If your presence is weak, touch feels desperate. If your presence is strong, touch feels inevitable. Attraction does not begin in the hands. It begins in the inner posture of the man.